So you guys read the title, and you're probably wondering what I mean by why I hate to love this phone, and it's pretty simple. So this is the Google Pixel 2, and I've had it for close to a year now, and I swap a lot of phones, especially Android ones. iPhones, generally, it's once a year, and that's it. I don't change that, so I have a primary, which is always my iPhone, and the secondary, which is my Android phone. So Android phones generally get swapped very quickly, and usually it's whatever's the newest one that stays in my pocket. But the Pixel has kind of broken that rule, and I want to explain to you why. Now, let me just start off by saying I don't like a lot about this phone. So, I just want to take a second here to look. This phone is a mess, okay? There's a lot wrong with it, and I try to keep calm and not exaggerate things, but I think I'm going to just kind of screw it with this one and go for it. So this phone is ugly. I don't care what you say. The designers were high on something when they designed this, and I don't know what they were thinking. Why go with the glass and this aluminum and then put a stupid coating on the aluminum, which, by the way, does not make it feel more premium. Whoever says that has never touched anything else in their life before if they think this is what premium is. I'm not joking. I had okay, I'll get into that later, but this phone has an unnecessarily large top and bottom chin. I just did it the other way around, so top and bottom chin. And it makes no sense because it's not like they don't have the technology. The Pixel 2 XL, the bigger brother, has much smaller bezels. And this one, okay, it has stereo speakers. I understand there has to be a chin and, on the top and bottom. It does not have to be this big. They're like more than half an inch on the top and bottom. And even comparing it to some of the Chinese phones, I think this is the biggest bezeled phone there is right now on the market. It is horrendous. Not to mention the fact that it is clearly a ploy to get you to go up to the Pixel 2 XL. They claim that we put all the same stuff in our phone, so you don't have to choose between one just because it has more things. But that's clearly what they did with that display. The Pixel 2 XL, just the design, at least on the front, looks so much better. The chins are like almost Samsung level thin, and comparing it to this monstrosity, different story. And as I was saying, the coating, this weird design element they went for, makes no sense. Why not just go all glass? Why not just go all aluminum? Why go for glass, put on aluminum, and then put on this stupid coating in the name of just making it more durable? Because it just feels really bad, to be honest with you. And I did this interesting thing. So when I first got it, I was surprised at how much I didn't like the way it felt. So I had just bought the OnePlus 5T at the same time. So what happened was I had both the phones with me, and I'd ask people, and people that don't really care about phones too much, they want their phone and that's it. They really don't care what's going on in our world. Yes, those people exist, and they're probably the majority of us. So every single person I showed it to, I did not tell them the price. I just, hey, take both of these phones. Which one do you think is more expensive? Every single time, I did not have one person say that this phone felt more premium. They said the screen on that looked better, the design looked better, the materials it just felt a lot nicer, and not anybody was ready to believe that this phone cost me way more than that phone. And they were like, dude, I think you got ripped off. So, that's what you have to understand, that most people will not look as far as into every single spec and thing. They hold the phone, they look at it, they use it for a couple of minutes, and then they decide which one they want. And this phone makes a horrible first impression. And that's what it did for me, because I openly hated this phone. Even before I bought it, I just hated the Pixel line because it was so ugly. And then at one point I was like, I can't keep bashing this phone until I try it. Once I've tried it, then I can bash it guilt-free. So that's what I did. I was using this phone, but, I'm going to keep going on to why this was a horror story for me. And as I was saying, the phone just isn't that comfortable to use either. And I don't know why, because the form factor is excellent. Everything, the way it's designed, should be comfortable and should be able to, long-term use should be good. But for some reason, the way these edges, the corners are designed, I don't know what it is about this phone, but I never found this to be a comfortable phone. Like, I couldn't use it long periods of time without, getting my hand cramped up or just feeling weird. It doesn't feel traditional, and that definitely has to do with how tall it is in comparison to how wide it is. So I don't know what's up with that, but definitely a factor that I I'm not going to talk about that anymore. So the stereo speakers on this phone are, the best way I'm going to put it is they don't deserve any praise, but I can't complain about them either. They're very average stereo speakers. They're clear, they're loud enough, and they get the job done. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but same time, I don't have anything good to say about them. Let's go to that typical factor a lot of people like to hit on, that is headphone jack. So this phone does not have a headphone jack, and as I stated in my unboxing of this like a year ago, I'm okay with not providing a headphone jack. What I'm not okay with is A, openly making fun of your competitor, that is Apple, in your keynote 1 year before you remove the headphone jack. So the Google Pixel, the first one, when it came out, they openly bashed Apple. They're like, look, we got a headphone jack. It's awesome. Ooh, so sad, iPhone users, you don't have a headphone jack. And the next year, they remove it. I don't mind that they removed it. I don't like hypocrisy. I hate hypocrisy, and that was a bullshit hypocritical move by Google. And either your marketing team sucks or your design team sucks because you couldn't communicate that, hey, we're going to remove the headphone jack next year, so you might not want to give too much focus on that. Instead, they just went at it, and then exactly. Let's move on, and I want to talk about the second point. That is that this is a $650 phone at base. $950 if you go for the XL with 128 gigs of storage. And guess what? This does not even come with a pair of headphones in the box. Not only don't you get that USB 3.5, you don't even get an in-box headphone to use when you buy it. Now, surprise, surprise, there aren't too many USB-C headphones, earphones out there that you can quickly buy, unlike the 3.5 millimeter ones, which if you don't include, I can get it. You probably have some already, or you could just go buy them from any store. But this is an issue. Even Apple has the Lightning headphones, at least earphones, in their box when they sell you the phone. So why do that, Google? I mean, it's not like this is a budget phone. It's not like you're skimping on anything. We're paying you top dollar. You should have had that. And that also, all of that, I'm telling you, this phone did not make a good impression on me. I was annoyed. And this is coming right around the time I had the Note 8, I had the OnePlus 5T, and I was just like, what? Google can't be serious. Come on. And I'm just telling you. Moving on, performance, it's nothing special, honestly. In fact, I think it's actually kind of feeling slow. And I thought I was the only one, and then I saw MKBHD made a video about the XL, and he said that his phone has been slowing down too. Of course, the XL had some hardware issues, but the general consensus is that the software definitely, while it's supposed to be optimized, is definitely feeling slow. This does have a Snapdragon 835 chip, which is, the chip was already 6 months late into the game. Now it's 1.5+ years old. So yeah, that's another mistake Google makes, is that they don't have anything special in this phone in terms of hardware. All the same stuff you can get in any other Android phone. Also, just the UI, I try to not think about it, but definitely not as smooth as some other phones like the OnePlus 6 and stuff, because the UI just feels like it's quicker on that. I don't know if it's the animations or what it is. Personal experience, I'm not saying that this is 100% definitive. This is what I feel like, and this is why there's a reason for me not to like this phone further. And then battery life, on its best day, it's average, and on most days, it's below average. Just an example, I was filming I was doing work for a camera comparison test of this and the iPhone XS Max, and this had 25% battery when I went out to start. And it was low, but I thought, hey, a couple pictures shouldn't be a problem, right? Within 30 minutes, so in 30 minutes, the entire battery is dead. And it's not because my battery is bad, this is just how it is. The capacity isn't there, and I don't know what is it with that battery optimization, because I've never had good battery life on this. And when you start using that camera, it will eat it up crazy, because obviously, you got that processor work and overload to get all those images right. So definitely a very annoying point with the smaller one was that battery life just was not enough. So as I'm saying, with this much wrong, why am I just bashing this phone? I'm bashing it because I actually love it. This phone is really good, and there's two reasons why I think so. Number one, even though the design, the ergonomics, the way it feels, everything is not that good. I don't like it personally. The one thing I really like about it is how I like the smaller screen. I like the way that it's a little bit more compact, and it's so much easier to carry around than these bigger phones now with all these huge 6-inch, 6.5-inch monster displays. I really like having this smaller form factor, and this phone gave that to me. And secondly, I think what everybody was waiting for, and everybody probably expected a little bit, that camera. So this phone has one of the best cameras I've used, and that's not anything specific towards its hardware. The hardware is decent. It's because Google has done an amazing job with the software. So the software, when you take a photo, it takes multiple photos, it stitches together the best parts of those multiple photos it took, and it gives you the final result. And those photos look amazing. I'll put up a few examples here. You guys can see. It's so hard for me to ignore that because I thought initially everybody was just like praising the Pixel for no reason. I couldn't understand why people like Unbox Therapy, MKBHD were all raving about the Pixel, and I'm like, wait, there's so much wrong about it. But they were focused towards the camera. They were saying the camera is so good on this, it makes up for a lot of things that are wrong with it. And I have to agree. That hurts me, but I agree. The camera makes up for a lot because just what I'm saying is every time I go on a trip or every time I go out and I think there's an opportunity where photos will be taken, I take this phone. I make sure it's with me because of how good the camera is. It's quick, it's responsive, and seldom have I taken a photo and then I've had to go back to take it again because it just didn't come out right. Every single time I take a photo with this, perfect photo. And that's something I really like about the Pixel. It is truly what many people say a pocket DSLR. So it gets you, in my opinion, obviously you can't recreate a DSLR, but it really gets close to it. And for the price compared to a DSLR, it might be, considering it, I think it's amazing. Now, I'm just going to mention very quickly that the video, on the other hand, average, not that great. I still think that the iPhones are king when it comes to video, filming video on your phone. But picture, this is top. And the thing I keep thinking about with this phone is if Google, if they actually focused a little bit, got it a little bit more unique, they made sure it was not as expensive, and they did all this, this phone could be killer. It could be what everybody... You guys remember the Nexus line, right? That people loved those, and they had a lot wrong with them like this phone does, but the things they got right, they nailed, and the price was what really got everybody sold on those. So I'm just thinking, why can't you recreate that? What's wrong? You outsource these to other people to build. You don't do much with them. You make shitty hardware. There's quality control issues. Everything is going wrong when it should be going right for Google is what I'm trying to say. And that comes to the conclusion of this story. And what I was saying is, I really hope the Pixel 3 that's coming out in a couple of days is good. It's been leaked. We know what most of it's like. But my expectation here is that, I want a phone I can love. I don't want to hate to love it. Like, this phone is always a love-hate relationship for me. I would want something a little bit nicer to use, but then I'm like, hey, I can't get the camera experience in this. So there's that trade-off I'm making, but I wish I didn't have to make that trade-off. Let me know what you guys think. If you are a Pixel 2 XL, or even the first-gen Pixel user, what has your experience been with the phone? Have you ever noticed, coming from different hardware or moving to different hardware, what was your experience? Did you like it? Did you feel something was wrong with it? Because I feel like there's a lot wrong with the phone. I've told you guys in this video, but I think that what this phone nails, nobody else can nail that. And I'm looking forward to it. So, as I said, let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, guys, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel for more content like this and follow me on social media. I have all the links down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.